Welcome back. So this is prime picking season for your apples, pears, and plums, but how do you know when the fruit is ready to harvest? We asked this guy, Master Gardener Cisco Morris, but first, what do you do with this man-eating plant?
Well, I've murdered about 1 million of these. Those are harder than heck to grow, you know.
They are harder to grow and keep alive, but we're not talking about this plant today. We're talking about the plants that bear fruit that we eat, not the ones that eat us. So let's start with apples. How do we know when an apple is ripe?
Well, the first thing you notice, some of them start to fall off.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a good
and
indication.
so when that happens, that's time you better check.
Okay.
So the easiest way to tell is take a bite. And if it tastes good, it's probably ripe. But if you bite it, let's say you don't, this is a Spartan apple, let's say you've never eaten one. The only way you can tell, if you cut it in half.
Okay, yes, sir.
Let's see, okay, the seeds are pretty black in there.
Yeah.
That's probably ripe. See, this one, I know that one's ripe
How do
because
you
I've
know?
been eating these.
Because you've been eating them?
Yeah. And look at how black those seeds are.
Okay, so the seeds have to be black?
Yeah. I don't know what happened in the middle of that guy.
Well,
That doesn't look too good to me.
You did not expect that to happen.
No, I didn't.
This
Oh, la,
specimen
la.
here.
Yeah, somebody's been in there chewing. That's
You
what
think
I
that's
think.
what
I think a
happened?
bug got in there and ate up some of the seeds and
I'd
stuff.
still eat this apple. I don't care. All right, so eat it. All right, what about fruit like figs and plums? Is it true that if you pick them before they're ripe, they'll never ripen?
Yep. You pick a fig. Well, I'm a pig when it comes to figs because I love these guys. So if you pick it before it's really soft, it's never going to ripen up and it's never going to be any good. And what figs do is they hang on the plant. They're like this.
Right.
And then when they're ripe, they go down at a 45-degree angle.
Okay.
And then they're still not ripe till they soften up. They got to be really soft.
This is not quite ripe, is
It's not ripe. Nope.
I'm not going to eat this.
And this is the second crop. You usually get the first crop in mid-July, early August. These ones almost never ripen up the second crop, but it's been so nice. I thought
Really?
maybe
They
it
never
would.
ripen?
The second crop, unless we get the best summer on earth, you don't get the second figs. They just fall off, break your heart. Oh my gosh.
I love a fig too.
It's
you
so
know,
sad.
I heard a myth that your hair has been curly ever since you bit into a ripe fig on a summer
It's
day.
true.
Is this true?
It's true. You can't tell how curly it is right now because
you got it
I got too
cut.
close to the chainsaw recently. But yeah, the first time I bit into a fig, it was on a hot sunny day and it was all soft right off. My hair just started to curl and it's been curly ever since.
Mystery
So
solved.
watch out if you eat a fig on a hot sunny day. And if you don't harvest these soon after they get soft, the raccoons, the
Everyone
blue
else is
jays,
like, it's
everybody else
free
wants
lunch.
the figs.
All
yeah.
right. What about fruits like European pears and fuzzy kiwi? You have to pick those before they're ripe.
Yep. And,
Okay. How am I going to remember all this?
Well, this is hard. So feel how hard that is.
Yeah.
But what you do is you cup your hand under the pear and you pull it up. And when you do, it snaps right off. Then it's ready to pick, but not to eat. But that's the best part about pears. You have to store them. Some kinds that you can pick early, you just got to put them on the counter for a few days. They get soft.
You know, my dear friend Hollywood, he used to work across the street at the produce place across Sound Produce, right across from King 5. He always told me you could put them in a paper bag and it would ripen them up. Is that true?
That's true. And if you put a banana in there with it, it'll ripen up twice as fast.
Really?
But you know what I love about the fact that you have to store these for a while before you can eat them? Is that the kids try and steal them. They come out there, take a bite, break their teeth on them, and then they leave it, and they leave them alone. So,
all right.
But these guys, you gotta. I usually wait till after Thanksgiving. They gotta be hit by a couple of light frosts.
Oh, that's how?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
so, and
interesting.
then these kiwis, I store them. You could store them for 4 months in egg cartons. Then you bring them out, put them on the counter, and in about 4 or 5 days they get soft. Ooh la la.
Ooh la la. Okay, we've talked about European pears. Now let's talk about Asian pears and nectarines. What's different from them when it comes to harvest time?
You just pick them when they're super ripe.
Okay, you
So
leave them on
Yep.
till they're super ripe.
Yeah,
okay.
and you know those Asian pears,
Mm-hmm.
they're not ripe until you have to wear a bib because when you
Yes.
bite
Oh,
in,
they're
there's juice
so
all
good.
over you.
I
Oh,
love-
and a good nectarine right off the tree.
I
It makes
love
me
that.
cry thinking about it.
It is. It's an emotional thing, a good piece of fruit. I have to say, it is hard. It is not easy. I've tried. It's not easy growing fruit trees in the Pacific Northwest.
It's not easy at all. They're a lot of work.
There's a lot of
one
work
thing.
here. It's in the more arid and warmer climates, you can just plant anything and it'll grow. What is your secret tips to keeping a fruit tree alive in the Pacific Northwest?
Pick the right kind. So there's apples that don't get apple scab. You don't want to fight that, have to spray, do all that. So you can look up on the computer which apples don't get scab.
I've
for
never heard of
instance.
apple scab. It sounds awful.
It is awful. And you know what's even worse?
What?
Apple maggot. This probably has a bunch of maggots crawling around in it right now.
Ew!
So just
Let's
don't. You could still
for some
make.
maggots.
You could still make good pies out of these.
Yeah, there's no
So
maggots
just,
in
yeah,
here.
just don't tell your neighbors.
Oh, no, I found one.
Oh, yeah,
Just
yeah.
ended
There's,
its
there's
life.
some bad sides in there. So they make a great pie. So just don't tell the people eating it that there's a few maggots. A little protein is good for you.
Well, I'm sure the next pie you bring to your neighbor, they'll be thrilled
Oh,
with all the
I
extra
hope they're not
protein.
watching today.
Happy Thanksgiving. Here's my protein pie. Oh my gosh, this is going to be a lot. Thank you so much. This is wonderful. I cannot wait to try some of those pears when they ripen.
Oh, they're so
You're
good.
leaving those, right?
Oh, not. Oh, no, I'm not.
Every time.